咁大家好啦，歡迎收睇694時間都頻道啦。咁今日咧講一個好騎呢嘅笑話俾我哋已經係咪可以起翻呢度啊？咁呢條咧，咁呢個車牌咧就 RA7130壞車。而家咧車長咧就要換一部車啦。得喎 ，Go go！ Go go go！ 咁我哋轉咗一部用車700E，經典啊！經典真係經典。未開始電充，呢個安全帶咪壞咗。
Bad news, I got my first ever point in Flensburg. For driving. But then he turns around and goes, he's had in excess of 10 fines prior to this with no points. Which means that it's okay, he's got to be caught another 8 times before he gets his license taken off.
Assuming it's the same ratio of points to no points. Do they still have the unlimited speed limit?
They do. And what I think that's where he's getting stopped. Right. Because it's unlimited, but it periodically sets a limit.
As you're driving along?
As you're driving along. So you'll be going unlimited, and then they'll suddenly set a limit for 100 people. Just to keep people on their toes, so that people aren't just
呢部大食嗰啲有幾多呢個？
It does like he keeps getting caught. Notice sudden speed.
嗰條路仔唔知嚇，我心諗佢哋係貴雞。
The cops do what cops always do, and then stay in position. It's justice, it's just stop.
No. Just that, yeah. Oh yeah. And they've probably got friends saying, check that one.
你唔好同前我係咪又話貴啊？好似架車都唔掂，我一抄一零幾舊啲。
I think I've seen it in some
Speaking of Australia, one of the things you can do is raise, especially with them, like what we wrote before. 好耐冇坐地鐵啦。呢個富豪係啊，呢個好似有啲國家行過50。
So you can actually, so I remember once going down the snow, we would have been like 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah.
And this car flashed past us so we could see the radar detector in the dashboard. And so my mate went, okay, we hopped into it. We just went with it all the way through.
Because he knew exactly what was going on.
你好多人行嘅喎，呢個
I've got a friend in uni who used to live out in country New South Wales, and she says as you get closer out of the city and towards there on the main road, you see 2-3 cars band together, and it's almost like, you know, the electric bike trials when they go around, they have each one takes the lead for a lap and then they fall back and they take the lead for a lap and they fall back. She goes, you'll sometimes see 2 or 3 cars get together, they're a little speedy, and then after about half an hour, one of the car peels off and the next guy takes up. So just splitting the risk of being caught.
Because the one at the front gets caught.
Correct.
Or the one at the back gets caught, depending on where it's positioned. But they won't all get caught.
That's the theory anyway.
But it's a good theory.
Because most of the things on the side of the road, the cops are there with that. They'll follow one car. And then if they follow one car, they can't follow 2 cars. So it theoretically works.
I haven't spent a lot of time in Canada, but I did take a picture to send to my brother because he's lived all over the place. He's lived here, Thailand, and Germany. So periodically I happen to be going to somewhere where he's lived, and I'll send him a random picture and just be like, okay, guess where I am? And I sent him Mexico City, and he couldn't think of it. So I sent him a picture of the people from my hotel and he got it immediately. He was like, too easy.
I was just going to say, what's the degree of difficulty you're playing for?
Yeah, well, the Mexico City one he didn't get at all. So this one, I pushed it in the family chat, and I said, Mum, I told my mum and my stepdad they weren't allowed to say because they didn't answer. so all he came back with was it's too easy. I'm not entirely sure that he knew or didn't know, because he never actually said the answer, but my brother-in-law, who's married to my sister, because everybody was like laughing and joking, and at the end he goes, it feels like I'm outside an inside joke. Could someone please tell me the answer?
That's new.
應該係小巴嚟， 應該唔係，
the section.
係小巴嚟。
So one choice that that's
Okay, so that's where you went last night.
小巴嚟。
So the main road is where one car is over here between that here, which is Village Road east. All the in-between streets are all local schools. It was all local rather all expensive. On the edge, in the middle of summer, it's just like the main reason for but now they've got more restaurants. So you can see all some of the old restaurants. There's 3 layers of furniture stores. There used to be 3 layers. They challenges halfway down by there's one building that just is very everywhere. Maybe two. And then we go to Suha, which is on the other side of the cowboy. What there is a price.
But you have to cross the border into China.
Yeah, but you catch a ferry, the ferry's an hour. You ring up the...
喐咗。呢個咩車？舊車啊，開得啊！
Seems to be on some
係咪呢個博物館啲車呢係真？
went to spend a couple of days
而家
in
入
Hawaii,
得
a
博物
couple of
館
days in
咯喎！
Japan, a couple of days in Japan, and I was here
我
for
識嘅，我坐九巴幾正字，
days from
我坐九巴。
Too many frequent flyer miles.
yeah, he lives in San Francisco, so he seems to be working his way this way.
入得博物
Take up no time right. Or it's a pair of shorts. I knew that. So he was busy explaining, no, because there's some scheme whereby you can get parts of
二六差唔多，
so it's cheaper to buy a new car. Which one? Where I was like, it's still, but it's like $5.
馬六冇咩分別啊？
Through there.
馬六差唔多。
BMW there. Tesla here.
我坐爆炸。
Rolls Royce just up there right in front of the cruise.
Maybe
雙頭
Right? They don't have that here. So there's an interesting dynamic in the car market.
嗰啲我會翻去試㗎。
Locals work there.
我影到我樣得㗎
Work
啦。
their own self-work.
我把聲出現都係唔錯。
把聲出現咧，
都冇人都冇影到把聲。
So when it comes to all the things
咦都白白地喎，六號仔，
brand new books,
白白地喎。
they charge it. People buy it.
為
And so one night you spend more money on it.
仲乾淨過㗎，個站頭都乾淨過時啦。
Really nice to do a car.
開始上，開始上，開始上。15個頭先一模一樣，都係行山㗎嘛，就係用收翻嚟嗰個借嗰啲咯，借啲嗰啲類似啊。
So where do they spend their money? They spend their money on a nice car. They spend their money
no one's ever going to see it.
correct. They spend their money on
Which makes which explains a lot about how all the shops are like super expensive shops, but they're not. There's nothing. You said yesterday that the pool could be anywhere you want. It could, except nowhere else in the entire world. Entirely.
如果到時親戚嚟嘅呢度係會帶佢行呢間支
They'd be on the top floor, but you'd have a couple of floors of shops in the bottom.
correct. And then mind
冇
you,
人上車飛站啊，冇人啊嘛。
the richest part of the city.
除非個招手，係呢個要上，呢個要上，呢個唔係，呢個唔係。哦，有人。
Even same store, but there's nothing affordable in the exit.
So that's where
呢個係咪買個啱個果價？佢買嚟夠大啊嘛，全部換翻啲換翻落啲即係合適所揀。Great because then you have carrots, tomatoes, alcohol, and that's good. And then that's what brings it. And so, I need to be well taken. Basically, you can have something like that. So, you can have an appropriate job for something. Most of the time, you know, something to go. You know, most of the time. 過咗，建議咧每手真係唔講，即係梗係緊要嘅你可以咩啊？你可以因為佢應該知有啲拍緊手嘅，唔係打影球啦，有錢冇可能會有嘅。Just wait and see. Because apparently engineering wise, you make it consistent. Correct. You make so much time.
Awesome. Is that the one that's washed with untreated water or something?
A lot of them are. Yeah, so our ground is a great way to give every time something for everything. So I've got to be injured for work, so I didn't have to go play for football club. And I had a good friend whose husband played for every team. And she said, play for us.
You get access there anyway, so
that was exactly their look.
You can play anywhere, you've got choices.
俾司機揸得穩。
So how do prices go up and down like that?
This is a spot right here down. But if not, it's still in my boat.
冇人睇邊個飛㗎？兩碼，佢3號，大我係有錢佬啊！即係有錢佬嘅地方。食嗰啲嘢，即係
They've got like a metal plate on them that say slope registration number.
咁我上次時間俾係去玩，自己落嚟，係啊，1M 嘅。
Super weird. I've seen it all of them. It's just like, registered this slope, unregistered slope is illegal.
遊山道、遊山回水把直程
Yeah, if you have a problem with the list and you're going to complain to whoever
山係
offices
山
you're
車
in
開
or
代
building.
替水，係可以自己行去沙灘度得㗎。
Well, yeah, but I always take great pleasure, and this is a bit weird, reading whatever sign is on the back of the toilet doors. It's usually things like, please flush before you leave. Or there was, what was this one? It was flush, flush, flush again. Was in the offices, like being in the office this week. And it's just like, how old? Like, why do we need to be telling other people in office buildings to flush the toilet? But then I was in one and it said on the number, it said,
加多人嘅。
water, we use untreated water in the toilets. Don't drink it. Like, what?
之前行過嚟呢
I'm hoping this was something being openly conservative, but this isn't because they've had issues.
啲唔似水塘有
Why would we feel the need to tell people not to drink toilet water out of a public toilet?
似有
Slopes being registered as one of those ones.
你冇好似我玩船滑梯咁樣。
You're right, I've never thought about the ownership of the lift because
係咁誒，一段
it makes no sense. But
我
sometimes
中意坐開
You
三
haven't
邊。
mentioned the story that the expert tells you it actually kind of makes sense. Like, I remember being on pilot at a time, and I said,
揾到，但係因為我教。
well, yes, it's on the like the long jump, right? The two engines. One they always on seaside around with just two engines compared to 747 that just got fired. And he goes, it's because every plane needs to be able to lose at least a jet and still be able to fly. And so that's just part of the safety requirements of the jet. And so when you jump over from jets, losing one, you've still got three, so each jet really has to be so powerful. But when you've only got two jets and you have to be able to fire one, they are enormously powerful.
呢啲執啦，打呢啲山路有好
so basically saying that four jets, you're spreading 100% power between four rather than between two. So massive
必須要有經驗車揸，呢條線可以簡單單但你50幾歲先揸到咯。
Like this, when you take off.
啲山路始終好玩。
只要玩好似話過山車咁。
揸三 A 咯，三 A 差唔多。係三 A 好啲，遠啲，但係啲至少唔係9個，係全部都係，因為係2019年先至開，之前都坐2班啦，即係班真係撞唔晒。我想去傾嗰陣時。
As I said, my whole career I've been basically in Paris.
開影
People do real things. And then I've been in banking,
冇呢度啊
accounting. And I
即係
live
話
on
俾我哋 send 俾環境其他環境有咩反應？
you're living through somebody else.
好嘅，佢呢度揸。
It's interesting though because I do a lot of work with aircraft and I was at an aviation conference and I was actually sat at a table because of all of aircraft seem to sit with me at this table. So the head of tax, the CFO, a woman in finance, a woman in the ESG team. And I was talking to them and the subject matter came up as like stewardesses and stuff who have second jobs because you're not flying all the time.
翻嚟三行嚇，翻嚟
That's not the
呢
way
度好靚啊，好靚。
we have a pilot in a helicopter.
我之前行過龍脊都似咯
We have a pilot who has a second job. Okay, that's good. Tell me.
So that's what used to be the Royal Hong Kong Club,
Okay.
which is now only the Hong Kong Club. It's not called the Royal
Wednesday.
That's it.
I'm just like, okay, I understand people who have a second job that's like, I don't know, barista or something you can do online. But you've studied for like 10 years to become a neurosurgeon, and then you study for 10 years to become, and he's not like a little pilot, he like flies the big 777. So you've then also decided that on the side you're going to study for 10 years and just to be able to fly
喺度
big ass planes.
買得晒嚟嘅。
So my guess at that point in time, that he was someone who studies instructor, flew outside as a hobby, and then just built on my guessing so. But it's just he was funded by the Air Force whilst he was studying. And so I would just love to meet him. Because he also must be so intelligent. But I would love to meet him. She was like, yeah, that's what he does. And he flies. He flies once a week. Yeah. He flies a super long haul flight. So there'll be the person that flies from Vancouver to Hong Kong or Vancouver to Singapore. Spends 24 hours there, flies back again. He wouldn't be flying again anyway because they space out the long haul flights. Yep. So he does that on weekends. So on weekends he does a long haul flight, and then when he comes back during the week he works.
我想講呢個黐唔黐生路啊？嗰啲
He's probably going to be able to retire when
one of my daughter's friend's birthday party who was he's an engineer. This is an mechanical engineer, but he was in charge of, I think, computer repairing sometimes, and he was in charge of machinery that used to order tanks.
That's cool.
Because there's a big belief in Australia at the moment because in Sydney they just built a new train line under the sea, and they've got two massive high tunnel machines that have been spent the last 4 years digging tunnels underneath the market from the city all the way through. They've got another one, they're building a second pass, and now there's another one that's going through all the side. They show you see videos when they emerge, they build the train stations, they come, they tunnel through it.
Train station, train station.
Yeah. Where the train lines go. They always show you videos when they break through.
就係到淺水灣
Well, that must also that
差唔多。
massively decrease the amount of construction and stuff,
1個鐘啦，
causing disruption to the city as you do it on the ground.
差唔多1個鐘。
And the good thing is that Sydney's
我預你咁樣塞嘅話，起碼
in the city area,
1個鐘1時。
apparently navigating a path big enough for the trains to go through.
因為
And
安
what's
全，
hitting
我覺
it
得啲安全帶一啲都唔安全。
And that's where all of the
呢把蛇都
city planners, city engineers come in.
Yes, it also
啲新巴喺度咪會
it also
應該路
我
發
甩晒出
very
嗰啲
wary of where you are.
落晒車要保有啦。
啲巴士牌唔似香港風格，我覺得似外國。
Do they use in Sydney, like in Australia, do they use north, south, east, west as directions?
順德好緊要，行都快過地。
They do a lot in terms of the regions.
即係間落叫
You've got east and southern. Everyone knows. So the bigger cities. Okay.
所以慢慢行。
Is you've got
始終有啲人冇生活過嘅。
and then the city of Sydney is on the south end, and then the Parramatta River goes up there. And so here is the eastern suburbs. So that's where
慢慢流，慢慢流。
and on the way from the city to the old public suburbs, so places like Vaucluse.
I always really struggle with why the cities are. It's not you go up there and then turn right, turn left. No, it's go north and then go east and then go south. And if you've got no concept of directions like that, you're completely out.
香港仔。
They do that in the city or in the country. Because in the city, if you're in a city like Manhattan, for example, I can understand why. You'll go north for 4 blocks, do right on 34th, and you're there. That kind of makes sense.
But there's no right. There would be no right. It would be like go
Go
north
east
and
and
then
go
finish
east.
to go east.
Okay, gotcha.
But they do it everywhere. So in Toronto, I've got it down because the The lake is on the south.
Yep.
It's on the lake on the south. It's not really south, but the lake is on the south. Because that's the other problem. If you actually got a compass out, it wouldn't be right.
Yep.
But the lake is
So it's not
south.
at 180, it's at like 160 or something like that.
It's kind of like, yeah. If you even tried it on the compass, it wouldn't work.
赤柱真係赤柱好如果公司叫我揸3歲車，我可以試下。
I could walk up, they did a mock up of the new World Trade Center.
即係話50幾歲啊嘛，
即係高你嘅
50歲啊嘛，50幾歲啊，30幾歲啊，就唔好去冒險。
Pretty sure they wouldn't let you.
I reckon you could get like one of the red
即係老咗要精。
The Red Wings? Yeah. I bet they feel.
Welcome Air Force, I'm trying to Air Force. Show us how good you are. Just
Turn around and put little planes or anything.
I'm sure they've got all sorts.
So you, it's called repulse.
佢要兜出嚟。
Best name.
如果帶我，因為
Made it repulse.
呢度咧肯定
No, I reckon it might
呢度靚啦。
呢度靚，應該帶女朋友嚟，帶女朋友實。哇！呢個位真係絕
supposed to be English and Aboriginal.
咦？9736電一嗎？
But they're
係啊
going through this.
你一陣間唔採個過海
They're going through this truth and reconciliation.
係啊，坐翻過海翻
So
返屋
they're
企。
renaming a whole load of things.
睇下佢兜去邊先，我記得係兜去柯士甸
Traditional,
嗰邊。
Aboriginal, whatever you want to call it. So they're renaming a whole load of things. So anybody
睇
that's
下
been
啦，
found
想
to
坐落我
be
哋想
a
坐
bad person because they slavery or whatever, they're switching it to taking it away. But it's fine and treating it something else. But things like random
咩
bits.
啊？
Dundas Street, Big Street. They decided that
以
Dundas
減
Street
翻
was
仲有威力
a
啫，
different person, so rename it.
減翻。
We've got a whole suburb called Dundas.
We've got a whole town as well, but no, apparently Dundas is now a bad person, so they're trying to go ahead of it.
呢度真係
Apparently it's going to cost them $7 million to do so.
大家就是差不多啊，痛。
And then there's a little,
好靚。
I live one block east, one block west of the
麥
street.
士拉埋我咦？
See, I like that. One block west. You've got that. You've got the direction of this.
One block west of a street called Clocksar, and then south of Queen was Lower Clocksar. So I'm driving one day and she's telling me to go up Lower Clocksar, and I'm like, fine. And then literally the next day it tells me to go up a street called Indabenhof. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Where the
I
hell is that?
don't know where Indabenhof is. And they've literally named a 2-block stretch that used to be Lower Clocksar, Indabenhof, but there were apparently I actually thought it was like sometimes they rename parts of the city for movies and stuff, and I was like, maybe it's renamed for a movie. Nope. They've got a whole load of European places and French for most of
French.
French, we've got a lot of French, yeah.
I was talking to somebody about it this week. I don't know if it was you or you were part of the conversation, but countries under-emphasizing their names. Because a lot of the cities in some countries, we call them by the English name, right? So Japan, the Japanese don't want Japan, it's Nippon, right? It's like when China repeated Beijing, when they had the original name, we had to go that with Hong Kong, with Mumbai, with Shanghai.
又真係有好多叫做
Actual name.
佢哋一陣間咧，即係喺學校之前
Italians, for example, like none of the city names that we call Florence, Naples, none of them are Italian. I would have thought they'd be much more.
Well, especially when And some of them aren't even that hard. Like, as you say, road not causing an issue.
千祈唔好咁就咁第二咩啊？係咪？係咪你可以點錢買開嘛？
Yeah, something like that. Or party deli. No similarities there.
有得啊！兜我兜馬下兜啊！兜啊！有啲有啲油滑嚟咧。
Where did they get deli from? Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other interesting thing. Like, North America and Australia, have just taken a whole load of English place names or street names. Really? Edinburgh, York, London. And yet, the English, or whoever, the Italians or whatever, had to come up with that name in the first place. They didn't use a whole load of stuff from somewhere else. So we got a whole load of sort of traditionally stuff, and then we just copied and pasted.
嗰度香港
Even in the US, copy and paste.
石澳應該係廣州。
Not a place, but
我不了解咁樣。
you know, it might have been Lord Trafalgar, for example, or you know,
佢實
and this like they've been occupied this town. So you get what I'm saying.
Which makes sense. Yeah, a lot of founders naming things. I suppose that's what it is. People found, people came somewhere else. Came to those places and just brought with them their own names or the names where they grew up. If I went off and found Iris, I'd probably start naming the places we grew up.
After yourself first of all.
Me first, and then after that, once I started running out of sort of family names.
Then you know which one you wanted, like Susie Island or the Cook Island.
I think there's already a Cook Island south.
That's alright. That's a cook without an ego.
That's true, that's true. Nuances are all important in naming things.
而家冇車
Especially on
經
copyright.
赤柱廣場這樣下，你經過啦？沒有，
Naming things something that the name of it is somewhere doesn't seem to be the hindrance. I mean, how many Yorks are there around?
Oh yeah. Even Toronto used to be yours. Yeah.
還沒到。
So this is the high 90s in display. I always thought Hong Kong was just Hong Kong, like Singapore is just Singapore. But this is demonstrating that Hong Kong is not just Hong Kong.
So the island is what I was disassociated with Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It is Hong Kong Island. But you're right, you've got hatches immediately across the harbour. And then beyond that, you've got the territory all the way up to the borders with
我係講而今日揀隻豬係冇錯。呢個我平時都由細攞到大嗰條路線。你以前住西灣河咩？以前住喺呢條㗎嘛你？由細到大都係住啊！哦，咁樣點解你屋企人帶我過嚟坐啊嘛？因為坐4號，即係以前我面試你啱咪應該坐落去。係啊，我未識成擺啲嘢，第一間營銷公司係啱啱，即係以前
看來還是你有在學粵語。
running shoes. Speak with everyone.
收埋啲人鏟走咗咯。
John seems to make it sound super difficult to get there.
Interesting outfit though, yeah.
教室还有
Ferry.
She's been using it at the end.
I know she said she was going to catch the ferry after dinner.
ถ้ามันจงจางไม่เอามาประเทศ會多人參與飛雲啊嗰啲啦，中間嘅咁我哋落車自己行過去啦。
等一下我们就要到赤柱广场，要看
对，
一些一个
one of the noise, so in terms of certainty of timing, either the FTR or the combination of FTR and side. Because the stuff very used to be
啊，我都用其他
used to be fixed at like $2 something like that. Yeah.
有啲係有啲啦。高巴車嚟嘅嗰個。空關啊！就是在他想講坐一啲食飯就俾錢假嘅，我哋落咗先，你所以而家就
after my last stop, when my stop was oh, this is your next stop, please. And I'm sure that half the time they had no idea what I was saying, but when you're on a bus like that, it's pretty obvious when someone yells at you that they want you to stop the next one. And every time I used to yell in English, everyone on the bus used to begin. It's like, all of the locals inside buses. No one expects to catch on buses. So I think they were going, what are you doing on this bus?
You look normal, I'm now questioning your...
Getting ridiculous, but even about getting motorbike again.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the
let's say I bought a bike for sold it for 3 years. And what the cost of that was, I think I worked out that I could catch like
而家劇主慢慢由緊車河。
taxi ride at $20. I could catch something. There's no real taxi.
下次如果你得閒嘅話，我帶你去過嘛，真係好浪漫。你去四度嘅話，俾人睇到浪漫位。
There's going to be occasions where you anyway, at which point you're taking the taxi.
好浪漫㗎，好大個河，300蚊一個，
It's an auction process. There's an auction every month.
3個人900蚊啊，成千零蚊嘅鬼嚟。
So last time I looked about 6 months ago.
其實我唔係好建議坐啲觀光站，我想講一路沿路都係佢仲要係猛咁撞個窗，咁樣如果坐觀光嚟巴士咪猛咁俾樹打。
Not extravagant.
It's adding an extra third of the cost of the bike to the cost of the bike, but it's not.
唉，正我哋。
And it also depends if you go to buy a European bike, like
咁啦，
can you prepare
Bye-bye.
something like that?
佢點講啊？
There's like very, I mean, bikes are expensive here anyway. It's probably, it's almost 2/3 of what I did on the other version of the but it still doesn't make any sense. Even if you're motorbike.
For the number of times you're going to choose a bike over a taxi for whatever reason.
And the thing is that when I drive, I'm happy to have a couple of years to drive. When I ride a motorbike, I have to work.
No, the risk is so much less.
係而家行幾耐？有冇幾多點翻到去？
最好要
Someone around some, or someone this way to
someone
you.
there
想跟住行翻973出嚟。
That's the bit
哦，
that's
973。
Yeah.
好啊，
就快啲
It's
靚
hard
車
drive for Toffee
哦，
and
你要幾多點翻到？
very much having driven
7點啦，
7點。
6
I
點之
don't
前。
I trust myself and I know that I might have one or two, but not, they'll go out and have the time I need to make their driving. I might have one. But so I don't trust the driver for me. So yes, if I was on a
之
bike,
前，
I wouldn't trust the
諗
driver.
住我係行一陣先，
But even in
不
London,
如我係喺度行一陣啊。
係一陣跟住
where
我
London
我
is
攞
not,
嗰部申請，
it's actually quite safe.
4
There
1
are
1
so many bikes in London.
411
To drive, you
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
the lines to drive.
哇！你改咗 number 喎。
There aren't that many bikes.
Damage on them. Okay, how does that help me?
呢架車冇咩力，
So you can pull out in
Yeah,
front
wait
of
a-
them and they will
啊
stop.，
好貴低
I was
啊
like,！huh.
跪低啩，
Well, I'm not sure that necessarily helps me, but it's
架
good
車
to
會有
go.
力爭。
And then it did actually, I think for whatever reason, I did actually have to pull out.
Yeah.
And it did actually, it was like a big doubled up and red bus, and it did actually brake seriously hard to stop because it would not have been able to operate.
我係坐973咯。
係啊，我想坐呢度。
哦，好，呢個。
411幾多？
你一陣間坐973飛出去應該好快啫，唔行山路啦，應該。
41120呢部又係兩車。
你想喺西隧轉啦，定係尖沙咀？
西隧啦。兜埋呢度啊！航海學校。
係咯，我有個 friend 都係喺呢度讀。
讀航海 BTC。
我要經呢度好慘。係咪揸住手船有我風兩遊去坐？
有飛嘅。唉，赤柱交喎。
嘅呢度發生咧，師生冇打交。呢個希望冇嘢，一陣間冇坐淋咗落去得㗎。之後就係落去一陣間冇佢啊，再淋咗嚟食跛之後會窒。
應該差唔多。
我係唔兜翻啱入翻啱個，係就
睇又係舊頭。
舊頭，我係借段堂。
唔係借嘅，舊頭你要去到3堂應該冇可能。而且佢要3個少啊，啲3。我問阿成先。
選擇落車時，請緊記攜帶你嘅隨身物品，多謝選擇城巴，拜拜。
我一陣間個司機又遲咯。
我们已经到达终点站，下车时请仔细携带您的随身物品。谢谢使用司徒巴。
唔該曬司機。咁多謝各位觀眾嘅收睇啦，估下下一次路線啊，我係文嘅啦，今集時間到呢度差唔多啦，我哋下期再見，拜拜。